Alright, let's see. I need to fucking cell phone here just in my way. Oh, come on. Oh, it's oh, I thought you wanted on. Okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah, we can play Alaska. We will play Alaska again, don't worry. But after this one, I maybe do Jean Bart one more time. But I wanna do the Bourgogne. I have to start thinking with this ship differently. I mean, I'm baited every time. I think like I'm a destroyer, 7.1 detection destroyer. I wish you could move this anywhere around. Just click and move it somewhere, but nope. I'm a DD with 7.1 detection, but then again, you got 3 torpedoes on each side and 3 universal. Like, so you basically have 9 torpedoes that go 65 knots, 8 km. I really want to go and torp people in this thing. But this thing is apparently a gunboat, a very lousy gunboat. See, now I got a key of problems. Why did I slow down?
Boost des moteurs activé.
Oh man, my guns are not even ready for this shit. Oh! Yeah, that's another advantage that Kiev has over me. He has a smoke screen. Try using it as a RT Island ambusher, or is how I think you should play it. We need to play it either on the max range or kind of YOLO thingies. But you get detected so soon. I really dislike its detection. I really dislike its detection. So this thing is pretty fucking close. Oh, there it is. Okay. What is it? Can't be Kiev. How the fuck did... Oh, Fletcher Shima. Oh, I didn't see. I thought it was only Z, Asashio, and Kiev. Alright, what is that? 5 torps. That could be Fletcher, that could be Shima. Make the guns at the ready. Someone's not gonna like me. You got no chance, buddy.
Destroyer ennemi envoyé par le fond.
You got no chance when it comes to guns, my friend. So long, suckers! To balance it, they will probably invent some kind of new gimmick that makes you go stealth faster than other ships after going out of detection range. That is an interesting idea. That is a very interesting idea. Okay, 7.1. Almost there. Let's cap this. Let's make him shoot. Oh, this guy's smoke screen for us. Sweet. Well, I had this wonderful idea of you shooting someone else, but apparently that's just a dream. What is that torpedo dispersion? Good God. 17,000 damage. Jesus Christ. Yeah, these torpedoes are pretty fucking nasty. I'm telling you, this thing wants to be 2 things in the same time, but it's not very good in either of them. It wants to be a gunboat, and it's not exactly a good gunboat considering... Oh, that's a thermal flood, buddy. Oh, you did. Oh, I'm radar. Oh, shit.
Alerte incendie.
It wants to be a gunboat, but it's relatively lousy
Problème résolu,
gunboat.
chef.
It doesn't have a heal,
Alerte incendie.
and it's very, very out of the way. And it's very, it's huge, no heal, and a very, very slow reload. It's not a very good
On a
gunboat.
détruit un cuirassé ennemi.
Yeah, it has this wonderful thing called spam, 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 spam. I'll fucking fire 30, 40 shells at you in a space of 10 seconds. Which is the only thing that kind of makes him the gunboat. That's about it. And it wants to be a torpedo because it's got 9 torpedoes. It's got 9 torps that are very fast and very deadly, but they only have 8-kilometer range in a tier 8. Which is very, very dangerous. Very dangerous, but your detection is 7.1. It's gonna be difficult and challenging to make these things work. Now here you can see a game where I landed 2 torpedo hits, and because of those 2 torpedo hits, I have over 100,000 damage. Because I got lucky. How? First of all, 2 sets were fired in a perfect distance. I mean, probably. I'm guessing that he didn't have a repair, that he repaired the first one. I wasn't paying attention. And then, exactly when his repair went out, I strike him again. I hit him again. I flood him again. It's 2 out of 2. And he permafloods to death. So that was very lucky. So that's why we have over 100,000 damage. Otherwise, we would maybe have, I don't know, 50? And 50 would be nothing special, right? It's 8 km torps. It's really... yeah. Maybe Wargaming should have an anti-radar ability for DDs. Counteract radar for so many seconds. Put you in a slot where the speed boost is. Well, they did mention that they are fiddling with the idea of countermeasures, like counter radar. But I don't know if I like the idea. I mean, something needs to be done, but I would much rather have a normally proper working radar, like it should be, than adding another consumable. But if they absolutely don't want to make it line of sight or anything, and they want to make it more complicated, which is Wargaming, and they clearly do like to make things more complicated, then yeah, sure, let's make another consumable. So you get radar, and you can counter it for, I don't know, 10 seconds, which gives you
Boost des moteurs activé.
gives you enough time to you know, get some advantage over the radar. Let's get rid of this guy.
Alerte incendie.
The fire chance is pretty damn good on this
Problème
boat.
résolu, chef.
I can't deny that. That thing is really... it's got like 12-13% without the flag, so you can get it almost up to 15%. And for a DD, a gunboat DD, that is pretty high, if not the highest. So it can give you the opportunity to either you can try to survive for 10-15 seconds and try to dodge some shells, and then stay in the cap if you're capping, and then use it for the last 10-15 seconds of the radar. Or you can do it immediately and try to hide or run and then get radar, or you're already moving at full speed or something like that. I don't know. It's definitely a thing to be played with, but I would still prefer if the radar would be no longer than 30-ish seconds. I don't care which tier, which ship. And if the ship would actually have to have a line of sight on you, which is pretty realistic. Now, in comparison, I'll make a reference to one thing right now. on the dev blogs, I think yesterday, they announced that they are standardizing the ranges of ship detection and torpedo detection for the hydrophones. It's gonna be based on tiers, I think, more than just nations. I'm not sure, I didn't read it, I just heard about it. I didn't really have time to go and study it. But apparently from, I don't know, tier 6 to 10 is gonna be one type of hydro, and from tier up to tier 6 is gonna be a different type of hydro. So it's gonna be a lot easier for people to memorize it. But it's also gonna make some ships a bit more powerful, because it's gonna be a buff to their hydros. And it's gonna make some ships nerfed, because it's gonna be a nerf to their hydros. They could probably make the same thing with radars. And if this is true, they might be doing the same thing for radars as well. It did say that they want to kind of rework the consumables and the whole thing, from what I've heard. So I would not be surprised at all if they standardize the radars as well, which would be an awesome thing. You would no longer have to think, how much does this ship has its radar? It's like from this tier to this tier, it's that much. And I just hope they don't go over the top and make it huge. 30-ish seconds is more than enough. Trust me, it's more than enough. And if they make it line of sight, the radar is finally going to be a consumable, sort of a feature that you're not just gonna activate it once and it's gonna be enough to get rid of one ship. That's not how the consumable should work. And not to mention that you were actually, wow, that actually looks like a face. Not to mention that you don't even have to put yourself in danger right now. Which is really, really uncool. And unrealistic. Seriously, the radar in the game currently, it's a magic spell. It's not a consumable. And ships can carry up to 4 of these super long range, super everlasting magic spells that see through everything. And they don't even have to expose themselves to danger, and the entire enemy team can see you when you're being radared. Some balancing needs to be done when it comes to radar. The radar should be something that's gonna force some people into doing or not doing something, and not completely destroying a class of ships. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. A lot of changes are coming. I mean, I think that 2019 is going to be the year of changes. I think that so much stuff is going to change in World of Warships. It's going to be unrecognizable for people who, like, I don't know, started playing it back a year or two ago, then stopped playing, and then they come at like late 2019. I think the game is going to be almost unrecognizable. The carriers are going to be completely different. We're probably going to have submarines. A lot of stuff is going to be standardized, like some of the consumables, like hydros, maybe even radars. The way that the radars work might get changed, or they get some other stuff inside. I mean, damn! And so many new ships and modes and maps, and yeah. We'll see, we'll see. We will see. All in all, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Because when you play a certain game as much as and as long as I do, and go so in-depth from the most noobish parts and most crazy and laughable things to the deepest, darkest, hardcorest competitive, and you've been through everything, and you do it for long enough, a change of pace and something new and interesting is always appreciated. So I am looking forward to the changes. Of course, I hope they don't break the game with any of this stuff. But, oh wow, Iowa with 0 XP, nice. But we'll see. Terrible. Yeah, 80,000 damage on the Musashi. Otherwise, yeah, you can dish out a lot of, well, a lot. You can dish out a certain amount of damage in a short period of time, and then that's it. You need to bail, because your 6-7 second reload guns are not up to par to pretty much anything. But those gun reload boosters are seriously putting you in an opportunity to, for 10-15 seconds, just do. output as much damage as you can, and then bail. But based just on that, if you can't land any torp hits, I don't think this is going to be a very good gunboat. If you're in a DD and you meet this thing and it has its guns pointed towards you, and its guns have like 18-second 180-degree turrets traverse, which is bad without the expert marksman. If it's pointing guns at you and it has that gun reload booster ready, you're in trouble. And it's got very nasty torps, but very short range. I think this thing wants to be two things in the same time, and it's not extremely good in either, but it can be extremely dangerous in both. I don't know what this thing wants to be yet. I think the Wargaming can maybe put an emphasis on one of the two things. Does it want to be a gunboat or does it want to be a torp boat? Do they really want to keep this thing that it wants to be both, but it's not extremely good in either? Of course, it can get lucky and make both works. I mean, all of this has been done with guns in a very short period of time, and this has been done with torps. So we did succeed in making both of these things work in one match, and the result is pretty good. But this is gonna happen very rare. Alt Mapper, thank you for 5 gift subs, much appreciated. Welcome to the team, everyone. So yeah, a bit of talk about 2019 and Le Terrible.